All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Lane Trading Chat Room. It is May 23rd, 2023. Hope you guys had a great day yesterday. Ready to rock and roll and get back at it again today. As always, if you're new, it's going to go something like this. And we're going to start off, take a look at the SPY and the QQQ, determine which way we think the markets are going to head today. After that, we will take a look at the favorites list on the right-hand side of the screen right here. Once we review that list, it will be time to start trading. That is what we will be doing. We will day trade these stocks. If you guys have any questions about that, about what I'm doing, about what you're doing, anything at all, make sure you throw that up in the chat log. We'll get right to it. As always, before we get started, we got to talk about money management. You guys got to make sure you're practicing that proper money management. It is the name of the game. If you don't have anything to trade with, well, then you can't trade. So make sure you're practicing proper money management. You're managing your risk. Like I said, if you don't do that, you can't trade. So do that above all else. And with that, let's get into the markets, guys. So we got the SPY and the Qs both gapping down about 0.5% on both of these indices. So SPY, we're gapping underneath this little support area we've held for the past 2 days. So now we got a little bit of room to drop here on the SPY. You can see we should have room down to this, what was resistance at like 415, 416. Now we got that probably is going to act as a support. So I really don't see us going too much lower than the 415 mark. But I mean, if we hit 414, it wouldn't be a huge surprise. But I mean, I am going in with a bearish bias today, though. We are gapping down. We moved up a little bit. If we put in a little red bar right here, that really wouldn't be too much of a concern, wouldn't be too much of a surprise. Almost be like a healthy pullback on the SPY. Qs especially. Qs really do need some sort of rest. We got a couple days of consolidation, but if we get a little bit of a red bar pullback, it wouldn't be a huge surprise, like I said. So expecting a little bit of bearishness today, going in with a bearish bias, but again, expecting some chop as well because, well, we do have that support right there. So be mindful of that, but now let's get into the list. We have a couple decent ideas on this list here. First up is this Yelp. So Yelp is gapping about 11% into a really nice void, gapping up over 1, 2, 3 pivots. Should have room all the way up to this like $38 area at least, maybe even $39. It doesn't do a whole lot of range. Average day is about 70 to 80 cents, but it does have $2 of range to work with. So should not be a concern with that. So keep an eye on this one. It's been a pretty strong stock, and now it's gapping over that resistance. So I like Yelp quite a bit. Next up, we got AI. So C3 AI Inc. This one's gapping up. This is a pretty nice gap, guys. Ran up, pretty strong move, and then it just kind of consolidated. Got some resistance at that like 28.50 area, and now we're gapping up right over those pivots. So this one has a lot of room to move higher. So keep an eye on the AI over this 28.50 area. Next up, we have Riot. So Riot had a pretty stout move yesterday, gapping up a little bit today. We are under some resistance here, like under $13. I'd like to see it over 13. Doesn't do a whole lot of range. Average day is about 70 to 80 cents on this as well. So if we got over 13, we might be able to run it up a little bit more, but area is going to be getting a little bit thin up there with that big move we had from yesterday. So be mindful of that, but nonetheless, it is gapping into a bit of a void, so keep it on the watch list. Next up, we got Perion Network. This is actually a pretty nice short gap. So this thing's gapping underneath the green bar, underneath multiple pivots. The one thing I don't like is that it's got a pretty hard target right there at like 28.40, 28.50. I don't see it getting much lower than that. See, we got this pivot right here. Back from the start of the year. Then we have the moving average, the 200 moving average right there as well. So maybe you can trade down to that $28.50 area. It has about just over $1 of range. It does about $1.30 in range. So maybe we trade it down to that $28.50 area, but I'm not going to be trying to trade it too far past that spot. Next up, we got Lowe's. So this one's gapping down just a little bit. This is honestly not the world's best gap, I'm not gonna lie. It's gapping from a red bar, still above the 50 and the 200. Whenever I first had on the list, it was down there near the $200 area, and I thought, we're below those moving averages. under the $200 mark. I like it lower, but moving up a little bit more in the pre-market, so not as good of a gap, but we can still keep it on the watch list there. So next up, we have FSLR, so First Solar Inc. So this one, man, is a really big move up, and it's been selling off pretty good since then. So yeah, selling off. Now we're right at this support area right here, right at a couple moving averages and such. So maybe we get under that 197, 196 area. This thing does $7 a day, so has some pretty good range. So if we get under that, like I said, 196 area, really, watch it. Should have room down to at least 190, maybe a little bit more. So keep an eye on that FSLR short. One of the better short ideas, I think. Next up on the long side, we got Aqua. This is Evoqua Water Technologies. I don't know if I've ever traded this stock actually. The way it's trading right here honestly might look like a buyout. So we might have to double check about this Aqua stock. But nonetheless, right now it is gapping up over a little bit of a red bar into a bit of a void. So you can keep it on the list, but this pre-market is looking a little bit suspect. This might be a buyout or something. Let's see if we can't find it real fast. No, it didn't say anything about that, so we'll keep an eye on it. Looking a little bit thin in the pre-market, a little bit whippy, sloppy, so we'll keep an eye on it, like I said. Next up, we got MRO. So MRO gapping up very slightly. Again, another one that was gapping up more when I first put this on my list, pulling back a little bit now, but we get over these pivots right at this 2370 area. Should have a little bit of room to run. This is an oil stock, so keep an eye on the oil sector if you're trading this. You're going to want to make sure you have relative strength within that sector, but nonetheless, worth watching. Markets are open, so markets are open. So make sure you guys always practice that proper money management, have your trading plan, and follow that plan. I'm going to finish these few ideas real fast. So we got IART. So this one's gapping down about 12% into a bit of a void. It is into a little bit of a support area right at that $45 mark. So we'll keep an eye on this. Not my favorite idea. Last idea on the list is Advanced Auto Parts. So this one is gapping down like right where you need it to be. So I'm going to need to see some weakness out of this. Maybe under like 117. Keep an eye on it. Going to need to see volume as well. So I want to see volume, and I want to see a little bit of stronger move down on the Advanced Auto Parts. But nonetheless, it does have a really nice void. It's in a pretty solid downtrend, so keep an eye on the AAP. All right, and that does it for me. So let's get into this list. All right, market's open. We're off to see the wizard. Let's see if we can't make some money today, guys. Had a pretty good day yesterday, actually. Ended up just over plus 1R on the day yesterday, so always a good start to the week when you're positive. So far, markets are pulling in right here, pulling in just a little bit here. Q's in the spot. I mean, Riot's looking higher. Riot's on the move. Keep an eye on this one. I do like Riot, man, quite a bit. It's a very strong stock. You can see here. I mean, this is a pretty big move on the daily, but you can see on the 15 and the hourly, it really popped early and then just kind of rested, consolidated the rest of the day. So I don't think it's that extended as the daily looks. So keep an eye on that Riot. AI is looking higher as well, so watch this one. Yelp is pulling in a little bit. Yeah, Yelp's already whipping around pretty good, so that one might be tough to trade right now. All of my short ideas are going higher at the moment. All of my short ideas are moving on up. FSLR is one you can keep an eye on. FSLR is one you want to maybe watch. MRO is looking higher. Keep an eye on that. Because Advanced Auto Parts looking pretty solid. Again, gonna need to see some volume out of that. I really, really need that volume to come in. I'm not gonna trade it when it's doing like 20,000 shares. It's just not gonna happen. It's a 32-cent spread. So yeah, be careful with that so far. Just wait for that volume to come in. AI, the market's putting some pretty nice little green bars right here, actually, moving on up. So, I mean, this might be a choppy day. Like I said, we do have a lot of support down here in this 415 to 414 area. A lot of support right there. So, expect a little bit of chop. Expect a little bit of chop in that spot. FSLR moving lower. So watch that. Watch the FSLR. Yeah, I really would like this to be under like at least 196. I'm gonna need to see a little more weakness out of it. It's got two support areas right there in the moving average. So keep an eye on it, but I really want to see a little bit of a better move out of that thing. Yelp all the way back up at high of the day. AI is rolling over. Riot rolling over. Aqua's moving on up. Keep an eye on this one. It's doing good volume too, so watch the Aqua. Ooh, MRO pulling in. Oh man, I should stretch more this morning. Whew. You guys have a good morning? Oh man, it's a great morning over here. Great morning. All right, guys. So my list is not looking that good so far. I do have some a decent amount of backup ideas. I'm gonna scroll through these real fast. Uber, Microsoft, because Microsoft is strong. Keep an eye on the Microsoft. This wall and rig. So maybe you can watch a few of those. Nothing super special. Netflix short maybe. QCom's not doing much yet. Man, that Zim really rolled over, didn't it? So yeah, not a whole lot on the backup list either. So just stay patient, guys. We're barely 5 minutes into the day, so just stay patient, hang out. Good morning, Casey. How are you doing? We're looking at ACAD on this AM. All right, getting in long 25. This is a little bit extended up here, man. You're up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bars in a row. You're getting in right up here at the tippy top of it. So 23, 20. Yeah, I don't know about this one, man. I'm not gonna lie. This thing pulls back just to, even if a safe 50% retracement is gonna tag you out. So I mean, you got to. This thing's already ran a marathon. This thing's already up like 15%. You need to go another 15%. So that one is a little bit too extended for me. Yeah, I'd be careful with that. I would be a little bit careful there. See how weekly's pretty extended. So, yeah, if you want to do maybe give it a wider stop and try to add and reduce, I could see that. Try to get in maybe 23, add some shares, tighten that stop up. But getting in at 25 is just, that's a little bit aggressive, a little bit extended up there. Oh, the SPY is kind of chopping around. Looks like it's trying to go higher. Putting in a little buy setup right now on the 1 minute. Qs are up near high of the day. Yelp is sloppy. AI is pretty ugly as well. Riot, pretty ugly. Don't have much on my list right now, guys. Don't have much. I'm not watching low anymore. I put AAP up there instead. The Aqua. This one's still a little bit interesting, guys. Keep an eye on this Aqua. Keep an eye on it. It's doing okay volume, decent volume. So watch the Aqua. Maybe similar sort of high of the day pattern. Still has a little bit of range left. Average day is $1.07, and we've done 80 cents. So keep an eye on that. MRO is weak. This IR is hanging out. And this list is kind of junk, guys. Man, I thought I had a few good ideas, but it's proven to be otherwise. Let me check what the fat man's doing. Apple, Nvidia's looking higher. Facebook's moving up. Amazon moving up a little bit. So not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. Just a little bit of chop here. And this AIG is not a terrible idea. I'm gonna put that on my list. Actually, that's good volume. Yeah, I'm gonna put AIG on my list, guys. That's actually not a bad idea at all. Right below the flat 200, so be mindful of that. But you get a nice little pattern up there, high of the day. Watch it. Watch it. You don't see a whole lot else. Actually, this cop isn't bad. Cop might be a little bit better than the MRO. So the volume is okay. So keep an eye on the cop as well. Put that on my list. Alright, don't see much else here. Let me check a few short ideas if I can. Visa pulling in pretty good there. Wow. Starbucks down quite a bit. Target's actually. Guys, keep an eye on Target. Short. Target short. I'm gonna watch this thing. I like that Target short. Under low of the day, it's putting in a decent little pattern. Got plenty of range left in a nice downtrend into a big void. Keep an eye on the Target short. AT&T as well. All right. So I'm gonna get back to my list real fast. See what we're working with. My first three long ideas are pretty much junk. It's AAP, you can still watch. It's just really thin, very thin, so be careful with it. FSLR, you can keep an eye on that one as well. Lowe's is basically done. Aqua is one I want to keep an eye on. So watch the Aqua. Watch Aqua. Keep an eye on that thing over high today. I need some more consolidation, not just hopping in up there. MRO is pretty weak. This IR, that's gonna be tough. Alright. So, a few ideas out there right now. Nothing, not a whole lot. We're looking at BOH, Casey. Let me check out BOH. What is this? BOH. I don't know what BOH is. Bank of Hawaii. Oh, how about that? You're on long 4080. So you're getting in right up here. Stop 3440. A pretty reasonable stop, I guess. This isn't a bit of a downtrend. Target 53. Target's right in this little pseudo resistance right there. Just be mindful that it's in that downtrend. That's the biggest issue. You're gonna have to work through this 50-period moving average before you get to target. And I mean, all this is all going to be some resistance here. So they're not horrible, but I mean, the downtrend is probably my biggest concern there. This thing's making lower lows. So it did put in a massive volume spike right there. So you might be good. You might have set the low right there at $30, but yeah, just be mindful. You do have some levels and you got to work through on your way back up. So SPY's still chopping around, looking a little bit higher. Yelp is no, I don't want to do anything with Yelp, honestly. That one's gonna be tough. AAP is so thin. FSLR, man. Aqua just keeps on ripping. MRO is not that good. Like I said, we can watch AIG. I do like this AIG, man. It's got average days $1.28. It's only done $1 range, so get in there with like a 50-cent stop loss. That'd be okay. It's doing pretty good volume so far. Cop, we can watch Cop over high of the day. Oh man, watch Cop over high of the day. Target And target just peekaboo down there. Would have just barely triggered you in. So I'm staying patient on the target. It looks good. I don't mind it, but I need to see some sort of a better pattern there. All right. What's this new feature we got? Earn rewards for ideas. Woo! What? No way. Introduce me. That's interesting. $100 per an idea. Wow. Trading View just is on top of it, man. That's awesome. What? I gotta start posting some ideas, man. Gotta start posting some ideas. Apparently, looking at the Nasdaq 100. Well, the Nasdaq 100 is the Qs. This is the Nasdaq right here. I mean, it's pretty choppy right now. It's gap down. Right to do a little bit of support in this 336 area. Now we're ran up and chopping around. Now we're facing the resistance up here in the 336, 337, like 336.50 ish, right in that area. So not much to do with it right now. Just chopping around, hanging out, looking like it's trying to grind higher. But again, we do have that resistance up here at 390, 337. So be careful. And the US 30, that's just the Dow. I mean, I don't know why people like the Dow so much. The Dow really does not represent the stock market very well. It's 30 stocks, and it's not even like massive stocks. Like the SPY is what I like to look at for the market. The SPY is the market basically. So, man, we're already 15 minutes in the day. 15 minutes in. Did we have some sort of news just now? We have some sort of news that just had like a big pop right at 9:45. Oh yeah, we did. What was it? Composite PMI. How about that? So looking like it's pushing the markets up a little bit right now. So I don't like the bullishness though, guys. I'm not gonna lie. It's looking like it's trying to go higher, but we got a lot of resistance up here. 418, 417.50. It's all resistance on the SPY. Riot is still chopping around. Riot's still tradable, guys, I suppose. If Riot gets all the way back up to high of the day, keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on that. Perry's not looking good. AAP is meh. And that Aqua really doing the deed. It's probably going to be tough to trade it at this point. Because AIG, I like it a lot. I said it earlier. I like it even more now. What am I doing? We're 15 minutes in. I need to switch this chart. We're off to the 1 minute or 5 minute now. Trading the 5 minute. See, AIG actually was not a bad spot to be. Tesla, excited about Tesla. Oh yeah, Tesla's ripping. Tesla is ripping, having itself a day. Oh yeah. Not much to do with it though for me personally. Cop, you guys can still watch Cop over high today. Target, another one. Keep an eye on it. Actually, I'm gonna watch Target instead of Perry because Perry's not that great. All right. So yeah, Target under low of the day. Keep an eye on that. Cop, MRO. Yeah, not a whole lot right now, man. Not a whole lot. Hey, thanks for the follow, Blue Mortal. As always, if you guys have any questions or comments, make sure you throw them up in the chat log. Make sure you're throwing it up there. And one more thing, if you guys want to do me a favor and hit that boost button in the bottom or top right of the screen, I believe it is. A little rocket boost. I appreciate it. Helps me out. Doesn't hurt you guys at all. So help me out. We'll get a little rocket boost in there. All right. I don't have much, guys. Markets are kind of grinding higher still. grinding on up into resistance. So I'm kind of cautious. I don't really have any long ideas that I like actually. Target is, or not Target. Aqua is the strongest thing out, and it's just already ripped. Yelp AI. We can watch Riot, but it needs to do some work. UPST, of course. Thanks for asking, man. UPST. So it's had quite the move since earnings, ripping higher. A little bit extended up here, a little bit extended. So I might. I don't know if you're swing trading it or day trading it. For day trading purposes, I'm probably not taking this. It's just, I mean, it's had a pretty big move. You already had a big move yesterday, so it might continue going. Of course, anything can happen, but for my trading style, it's not really for me. For swing trading purposes, though, this does look pretty solid. In like a stage one, was in that stage two, stage three, stage four. Now we're in the stage one into a very early stage two. So this thing starts putting in some higher lows, maybe comes back, bounces in this $22 to $20 area, and then keeps going up. Not a bad spot, but yeah. For day trading, probably not touching it. For swing trading, probably throw it on a list and keep an eye on it for a potential trade in the coming weeks. All right, guys. So target's still not a horrible short idea. And this list is really not good. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry, guys. This is, I mean, advanced auto parts is looking like the best thing. It has a 13-cent spread on a. I guess that's not too bad. $1 stop loss, 13-cent spread. Still has pretty good range left, so you can keep an eye on the AAP. It just looks a little bit thin. There's AIG moving up, so I'm gonna keep an eye on this AIG. I think that is a little bit interesting. And AI is not interesting, so not a ton of range. It's already exceeded its average trading range, and it's at that 200 period moving average though, so be careful. 54-cent stop, it would have went 35 cents, so not too bad. Looking at Google, let me make sure I'm rolling through this list real fast and make sure I'm not missing anything. As target, buy sell setup, a little bit interesting. Not technically a sell setup just yet though. Need another 5-minute bar. There's MRO. Keep an eye on the MRO. Where's the MRO? Yeah, keep an eye on MRO. I do like that. I'm getting some strength now, so watch that. Watch the MRO higher. Wonder if COP is doing the same thing. Ooh, actually, guys, watch COP for trade. Casey, I'm gonna get to that Google. I promise you. But I'm gonna get this COP first. 105.03. It's gonna be high of the day by low of the day. 105.03. It's already going here, isn't it? So I'm gonna wait. Actually, that really is not. If this 5-minute bar would have stopped and like gave us an entry at just over 105, it would be really nice. But it's not gonna do that, so I'm not gonna rush into that. I'm not gonna be rushing into that. So keep an eye on the oil sector, though. We do have some stocks moving higher. MRO, COP. Wonder what Oxy's up to. Oxy moving higher. ExxonMobil moving higher. So yeah, watch the oil sector right now. Looking like it has a little bit of strength. Spine Q's still grinding higher. Let me check out Google daily chart 126. This one's a little bit extended too, man. I'm not gonna lie. Getting in up here at 126. Stop is at 122, so you really don't have a whole lot of protection at all there. You need 131. So you need just like another pop out of this thing. So yeah, this one's getting a little bit extended up here for sure. You're up 15%. You need to go another 6%. So you're getting some topping tails up here. You're getting a little bit of increased volume. Might be that ending volume. So and again, you don't have a lot of protection. This thing just pulls back just a little bit. you're gonna be tagged out at 122. So I'd be careful with that one. All right, guys. FSLR is looking interesting short. Keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on F. Oh, again, I wanted under that resistance, so I don't know. We're gonna have to see a little more effort out of that thing. Cop is interesting still. Perry is probably not gonna be traded. IR, yeah, I don't know. All right, so not a whole lot to do here, man. It's kind of a choppy open, choppy market at the moment. Keeping an eye on the COP, COP. I do like that. FSLR, like I said, needs some work. AAP is not too bad actually. AAP, I don't know if I can do that. That's very thin, very thin, guys. Here's the. I'm pretty tempted on this target sell setup right here. Tempted on the target sell setup. I'm gonna keep a close eye on that. Riot chopping around, AIG hanging out. See, the main thing I'm watching right now is the target sell setup. Target sell setup. And I like COP and I like MRO as well. See if we can't get a pattern on one of those things. In fact, we're gonna go ahead and keep COP on my thumbnail watch list just so I can keep a close eye on that. Riot's gonna need to do some work before I'm into that thing. So watching COP, watching Riot, watching MRO, COP, and Target is my top three at the moment. I think the dollar stop loss, a little over $1, 149.50 by a high of the day, so 150.58 short. We're gonna KRYS. I'll get that in just a minute, my man. Just keep an eye on this target. I don't want to see it go too much higher here. I really don't want to see it go higher like at all. It's already above VWAP too. Yeah, I don't know. Hold off on the target. Hold off. Let's see what is the 1 minute doing here? Yeah, this thing's looking higher actually on the 1 minute. So holding off on the target. MRO looks pretty solid actually. I like what MRO is doing up here. I like what MRO is doing. Keep an eye on this one. Still has a lot of range left and it's looking really strong. So I like both of those things. And it's doing good volume too. So it's checking off my boxes. MRO is looking pretty good. I mean, I really don't rush this market to go too much higher though, honestly. We're running up right into that area of resistance. Right into all that junk in between like 417.50 and 418.50. We're right in the thick of it. Ooh. I feel like this is gonna be a boring day. I wish this list was doing a little better. Tesla, what's Tesla up to? It's still ripping. Settling down at 192. You may be able to watch if Tesla. It's gonna have to consolidate. Oh, I don't know. You want to talk about something annoying, man? Look at Tesla from yesterday. Ooh, this thing irked my. Oh man, just tag me out. Didn't even hit my full stop. That was an absolute tag out. Honestly, it's nobody's fault but my own. But man, it still hurts. Just peekabooed me out and then continued to rip all day. Would have went up. I think I had a $2 stop on this thing, so would have went 2.5 R. And that would have made it a 3 R day. Instead of being up just over 1 R, I would have been up 3 Rs. I mean, that's a 2 R swing right there. That's kind of a big move. It's kind of a big move getting tagged out like that. So got to be a little bit less aggressive on some of those things. Give them a little more room. Oh man. So yeah, guys, I wish I had a little more going on for you guys. I'm not going to force myself to trade if I don't see anything. Sometimes the best way to make money is to not lose it. I say it all the time. You guys probably come on here, might be your first time watching the stream. You're like, man, this dude, he doesn't even trade. What is going on? He's just looking at charts. I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. Exactly. I'm looking at charts, waiting for my entry, waiting for my pitch. I'm not going to swing at balls. I'm only swinging at strikes. KRYS, Casey. Thank you for that. All right. So Crystal Biotech. I've never heard of this one. Ooh, it looks like a biotech though. This thing is already extended. Man, you're into the extended stocks today. 118 stopped at 113. This is another one, man. You're up a lot. You're up a lot, like 37% a lot. And I mean, if it pulls back just the slightest amount, you're gonna get tagged out. So I'd be careful with that one as well. You don't need a whole lot more, I suppose. You need 126. You need another couple bucks, but yeah, I mean it's at an all-time high, so there shouldn't be anything holding it back. But I mean, you get to a point where people start taking profit. I mean, if you bought anywhere before like 3 days ago, you're probably going to sell some. You're probably going to take a little bit of that profit. So be a little bit careful. This thing, it needs to rest. One way or another, it needs to rest. I mean, it could just rip higher. You never know. But at the moment, a little bit extended. Man. So Target kept going higher. AAP's moving up higher. FSLR higher. MR, I guess we're getting some higher moves. Markets are kind of hanging out still, but we're getting some bullish moves here in a couple stocks. You can still watch this AIG. Not my favorite idea, but keep an eye on it. COP is my favorite idea right now, guys. Actually, I like COP quite a bit. This thing has average day is $3. It's only done $1, so a lot of range left on the COP. You could probably go to the whole dollar stop loss, go lower the day if you wanted to. So keep an eye on the COP. MRO is very strong. So it looks like that oil sector is moving up today. ExxonMobil, another strong one. Guys, actually, ExxonMobil. Keep an eye on Exxon over high of the day up here. Keep an eye on Exxon over high of the day. That thing looks pretty solid, actually. Ran right up into this resistance area. If it breaks out over that resistance, it should have a pop at least 108. So keep an eye on Exxon over high of the day. What is Oxy doing? Check this thing. We're looking at Wolf. Let's check it out. Entry 45.50. So this was in a bit of a downtrend here. 45.50. She get in like yesterday. 45.50. Stop at 40. 45. Pretty tight stop. It's only giving it 50 cents. Yeah, you're only giving it 50 cents there. It's not a ton of range, but I mean, you're almost at target right now, so shouldn't have. You're coming up right to that previous pivot right there, so you might want to lower that stop to like 48.90 just so you're not getting peekabooed. But not a bad idea, I suppose. It's moving on up. 45 by 45.50 up here by 44. Yeah, a nice stout move today, so coming into a little bit of resistance here. So hopefully you get that last little pop to get to the target. It's pretty. I mean, it's up quite a bit though on that 5 minutes. So like I said, you need just a little bit more, but that little bit might be a lot. SPY is putting in a bit of a topping tail. Same with the Qs. So now we're getting a little more choppy here. Because MRO keeps ripping, Cop ripping, Exxon is ripping as well. You could have argued to get in the 3-bar play right there. That's actually not a horrible idea. It really is not a bad idea, actually. I probably could have gotten that. 72-cent stop. I don't know. You keep an eye on. These things aren't done. These things are not done. They all have quite a bit of range left, so keep an eye on that oil sector. Check my backup ideas real fast. Did this thing actually get to target this time? Okay, there we go. So my swing trade on Microsoft should have hit target. Peekabooed up there. It's not a whole lot right now. Let's check the swing trade, see what the swing trades are up to. CRM hanging out. DLTR is pulling in here. So we might be out of break even on the DLTR. MDB. Well, I already took some profits on DLTR, so it's not going to be. We were already in the money on that thing. MDB hanging out, looking like it might be trying to go a little bit higher. Microsoft, like I said, should have hit target. Rumble's looking good. VNT looking good. Toast looking good. I got triggered into these two as well. So there we go. FSK off to a nice start. GWRE off to a decent start as well. Keep an eye on that. It's pretty thin. It's too thin for day trading. It's alright for swing trading, but a little thin for day trading. Anything else happening today? Not for real. Alright, well, let's see if we can't find something, man. So far, sit on hands has been the move. I haven't really seen any sort of trades, any sort of 1-minute pattern, 5-minute pattern, really anything that I was like, oh, I probably should have been in that. I thought it's been pretty sloppy so far this morning. It's been pretty back and forth. Maybe you could have justified a trade on Cop, but it really wasn't the cleanest. Target, no. Advanced Auto Parts, no. FSLR, nope. Exxon, you could have justified that 3-bar play, but it was aggressive. Right, nothing. Aqua, nothing. Man, well, like I said, man, reading the environment and not trading whenever you're not supposed to is one of the hardest parts about trading. Because, I mean, traders come in, they think if they don't take any trades, they think they're not making any money, but it's not true. We're odds-based traders. We're pattern-based traders. If the odds aren't in our favor, then we're not going to trade. Plain and simple. The odds are not in our favor. We're not going to trade. And right now, this morning, so far, the odds have not been in our favor, so we're not trading. It's very simple. Too many times new traders struggle with that concept ridiculously. I don't understand. They feel like they got to trade. They're jonesing to take a trade, man. They're just ready to jump into anything that even resembles a pattern. And that's how you stay at break even. That's why you stay at break even and you don't ever become an actual professional. So stay patient. Wait for those high quality setups. Wait for something that really just knocks your socks off, and that's the trade you take. I'm watching this Cop right now. Cop over 105.50 is probably my top idea. I like it quite a bit. Really any of the oil stocks, honestly. Really any of the oil stocks. MRO, Cop, or Exxon. If any of them give us a pattern, I will be interested. If any of those things are pattern worthy. Let me check some other oil stocks here. Oxy's moving on up. DVN up. Yeah. Yeah, so the whole sector's moving higher here. Man, I didn't have any coffee this morning. I'm really starting to feel it. I'm really feeling the no espresso, man. Whew. I think I've yawned more today than I have the past month. Man, I'm still liking that cop quite a bit. Honestly, I would be interested in a buy setup as well. This thing pulled back to 105, gave us a little entry right there. I'd be interested in that. Right at the 50% retracement area. So keep an eye on the cop. Very choppy, very whippy. Then you guys got any day trades you're going with? Anything open right now? Honestly, I haven't seen anything personally. Maybe you guys have found something. Maybe you guys are trading some crypto. Anybody into the crypto game? Bitcoin just hanging out, man. I think this one. I like the algo, man. The price doesn't show it, but I think algo is the best actual crypto out there. Algorand. It's untradeable on TradingView or TradeStation, which is pretty annoying, but it is what it is. Actually, Bitcoin's like the only thing that's tradable. All right. Still watching the oil stocks, guys. This is pretty much the only thing I got eyes on right now. The oil sector. It's the only thing I'm really watching here. I'm not getting in on this 5 minute bar. So I'm gonna need at least another 5 minutes before I am trading the oil sector. Ooh, man. Well, man, this is what sit on hands days do to you. They just make you bored. And trading really isn't that exciting of a profession, honestly. When people think it is, they think, oh, we come in, it's like, bam, 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 you're just shooting off trades like a gunslinger. But I feel like most people, most professional traders at least, really just kind of spend a lot of their time sitting back, looking at charts, just waiting for an entry. I feel like a lot of what you're doing is just waiting for an entry. Not the most exciting thing, but it is profitable. It is very, very enjoyable, especially when you hit target. Whenever you're waiting for 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes for a trade to develop, and then it finally develops and you get in and it works exactly how you thought it was going to work. Oh, man, that's the best feeling in the world. That's the best. Nothing beats that, man. Nothing beats being right about the market and where it's going. It's just, you just get paid for it too. It's awesome. It's the best. MRO still chopping around up here. I still like Cop the best. Out of all the oil stocks I'm watching, I like Cop the best. I like it the best. Ooh, Oxy. I might keep an eye on the Oxy too, maybe. I mean, this is the only sector I'm thinking about trading, so might as well, right? Right up here at high. Yeah, so you can watch Oxy too. I'll throw it on the list just for shits and giggles, you know. Guys, we can keep an eye on Riot too, actually. I'm not going to disregard Riot just yet. It still has a lot of range left, and it's kind of making a bullish move up to the high of the day. So keep an eye on Riot over the high of the day. Keep an eye on the Riot over high of the day. Aqua, 5 minute buy setup if you like it and you want to be aggressive. It's actually not the world's worst buy setup. I mean, you consider how big the volume it's doing is right now. It's not horrible, but again, it's just not for me. I'm not trading something that's already exceeded its range by that much and it's under resistance. Like, you got issues, Aqua. You got issues that I don't want to deal with. right, well, man, I might just go back to bed, guys. This is just not it. This is not a market where money's being made. Maybe we'll get something out of these oil stocks. COP, MRO, Exxon, Oxy. One of those maybe will give us something. But right now, at the moment, markets have been very choppy. We're not in a good spot on the markets for either direction. I mean, any long trade you go in, the markets are not going to help you out really. I mean, they got a lot of resistance up here, so it's going to be tough for the markets to just rip. And then on the short side, I mean, maybe if we get under 417, if we get under low of the day, keep an eye. Like maybe the shorts will work out, but at the moment we do have that support right there at 417. So we're in that tough range at the moment, in a tough little spot. You're looking at EWBC. All right, so this one is long 5075. So getting in right up here, 4740 is the stop. So you got a pretty decent stop right under that little shelf right there. Getting in right here. Target up to 57. It's not a bad. It's in that topping tail. You do have this. The biggest concern probably is going to be that $52 area, right at that 50 period moving average. What was a little bit of support beforehand. See how this 52 acted as support. It will most likely act as resistance now it's below that area. So, and then again, this is one of those banking stocks, so it's going to be related to the banking sector. Has been a little bit weak recently, so be mindful of those things, but not horrible. It's not extended like some of these other ones you mentioned, so I do like that. But yeah, I think that $52 mark is going to be the biggest concern for me on the EWBC. All right, guys, here's that bearishness in the SPY and the Qs that we talked about. Pretty nasty red bar we're putting in right now. MRO pulling back. Really, all the oil stocks pulling back. Guys, this is the buy. If this thing puts in a bottoming tail, I will like it. Keep an eye on COP. Right now, it's putting in a pretty nice looking buy setup. All you need is that bottoming tail. Watch it. Bottoming tail or engulfing bar. Watch COP. XCOM is not doing as good of a job. Riot still looking a little interesting. Oxy buy setup is definitely one I'm not taking. All right, well, not a whole lot, man. Like I said, hope you guys aren't super bored. You guys got anything, any interesting trades going down? Anybody got some sort of wild open position? Any of these cryptos that are just absolutely popping off? Nothing. Is any crypto? Have you got any coin popping off recently, or is it just kind of stagnant? I don't really pay attention to the crypto market too much. I don't know much about it, but the Dogecoin. I mean, that's been some wild stuff, man. Should have loaded up at 0.06. Been having quite a good day. All right. So we're still just kind of hanging out right now, guys. Like I said, there's really not a whole lot going on. Boom, there's the top, guys. Top. This is my top watch. Top idea is COP. Putting in that bottoming tail that we want to see. I'm going, if I do get into this, it's going to be that 105.17 by low of the day. 105.17 by low of the day. MRO is hanging out too. I like COP more, honestly. I like the COP a little bit more. I like where it's out on the daily more. I like the pattern a little bit more. Volume wise, yeah, COP. I guess MRO is a lot better volume wise. So you take that into consideration, guys. There's Riot high of the day. Keep an eye on that one too. Keep an eye on Riot over high of the day. Exxon would be nice if it was put in this, but if this bottoming tail is at 107 instead of 106.50, I'd like it a lot more. Yeah, Oxy's gonna be tough. All right. See, I'm really just watching those few oil stocks and Riot. I wonder what is MRO doing today? MRO? Not MRO, Mara. Mara. That's what we're looking at. Keep an eye on that Mara as well, over maybe 1040 area. Keep an eye on it. First time visitor, welcome, my man, welcome. Thank you for your insight and ideas of continuing to hold T. Of course, let's check it out. So, what are you in this for a swing trade? A swing trade? And then are you long or short on it? So you give me like the entry, stop loss. You see how Casey, he puts in the entry, the stop loss, and the target? So if you wanted to do that, that would give me a little more insight into this trade. Kind of see what you're looking at, see where your position is at. Long, that's a little bit tough. This is looking like a weak stock at the moment. Maybe you're coming into a little support, but right now it's looking a little bit weak. Hold too long, hold and don't watch and get killed. Yeah, I mean, AT&T is a tough stock. I mean, this isn't a, I don't know what kind of trend this is in. This thing is in, this really hasn't gone anywhere in, like, geez, that 2000? Wow. So yeah, this thing is just a real choppy, whippy stock. So, I mean, you are coming into an area of support right at 16 bucks. So maybe you get a bounce right here, but if you get any lower than that, you're going to be into that real bearish territory. So maybe it isn't an area where it can bounce, but I mean, AT&T, this thing just doesn't look like it moves that much. It just kind of chops around, hangs out. So, yeah, I mean, you're down 5, 6 red bars in a row. So, I mean, you're due for a bounce. But again, just be careful. This is a pretty weak stock. Other than the support, you don't have a whole lot going for you. So, yeah, be careful with that one. Be careful holding out for too long. Guys, we got. God, cop is not looking as good here. I needed to put in this bar right here. This needs to be a green bar. It needs to be triggering. Exxon is looking a little bit better. Honestly, I would wait for Exxon over high of the day though. I'm not going to get an Exxon on this pseudo buy setup. Of course, my man. Appreciate you watching. If you have any other questions, make sure you ask them. Don't hesitate. The only bad question is the one you didn't ask. So make sure you ask those questions. All right, cop. Cop is getting tough. Because we can keep it on the Riot, like I said a minute ago as well. Riot is showing some strength. Man, these markets are very choppy today, guys. Sit on hands is definitely the best position I've seen so far. I don't think anything else beats sit on hands right now. I didn't see anything on MRO that made me want to trade this, even though it ripped. AIG, same thing. COP, same. Exxon, all these ideas. I've not seen a single trade today where I've really been impressed. So just stay patient. MRO is forming this buy setup. It's getting a little bit better. MRO is getting a little bit better there. Bouncing at VWAP now. How much room does this have? It was done 57 cents. Average day is 84. So you could definitely give a low of the day. 39-cent stop. You only need, what is that? You need 24. That's pretty reasonable, guys. Keep an eye on that MRO buy setup. Keep an eye on MRO buy setup. Looking much better than COP at the moment. COP is just, it didn't really bounce that support like you wanted to see it bounce. It's not doing great volume. I mean, we're almost an hour into the day, and that thing only has 500,000 shares, so that's definitely a concern for me. Like I said, watch Exxon over high today potentially, but right now the best idea I see is MRO. MRO is the best idea I see. In fact, I might be getting an order ready for this thing here. I'm going to go ahead and get an order ready here. 23.86. Low of the day is 23.47. 37-cent stop loss. We're going to need 39-cent stop loss. My bad. Oop. Just over 24. It's going to be 24.25. All right. Give this thing a little bit of room here. Oop. All right, guys. I got that order in on the MRO actually. MRO orders in there. 5-minute buy setup. I gave it the wide stop. I did give it the wide stop, so we are in MRO. 23.86 by 23.47. MRO. In there like swimwear. All right. So MRO orders in. It's like a wide stop, but it's really not that bad. It's really not. It's pretty reasonable actually. We need. Right now it's at a 57, so we're gonna need 78 out of this thing. So still within the trading range there on the MRO. One of the stronger stocks I see. Markets put in that big old bottoming tail. Now they're looking like they're trying to move up a little bit. Looking like they're trying to move up. Some of the oil stocks trying to do the same. I mean, the COP doesn't look too bad still. I mean, it's a very smooth pullback. Smooth move up, smooth move back. Should be a smooth move back up. But I don't like how much of it traced. And I don't like the volume either. The volume is a big concern for me. So that's why we went with the MRO. So what was my stop here? It was 39 cents. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna raise it up to 31 cents real fast. 23.55. All right. So now instead of 39, we're at 31, right? Get a little bit of protection here. There we go. So now we're only risking 0.8R. Got 0.8R risk open on MRO. 0.8, nice little buy setup. That's a pretty clean buy setup, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I do like this quite a bit actually. Right above, right on the 50% retracement area, right at the VWAP, right after a nice breakout over resistance here. So yeah, there's a couple things going for it. My biggest concern is the high of the day. I don't like it at high of the day. We could have been very aggressive and gave it like a 13 to 20 cent stop loss and just scalp it out right at high of the day. But I figured I'd give it more room. I'm gonna give this thing a little more room, you know. Let it do its thing. Let it work a little bit. Oh man. Oh, what a boring day though. It took an hour for us to get a trade. It took an hour for something to actually be worthwhile to trade. And honestly, I could see this thing grinding. I could see us being in this until 12, 1 o'clock today, honestly. I do not expect this to be a fast mover, especially with how wide that stop is. About a 40-cent stop loss. I'm gonna try and my goal is to get it up to this. Obviously, get up to break even, but I would like to get it up to 23.74 sooner than later. 13 out of 30. That's a third R risk right there. If we do that, yeah, that's the goal. And a solid start to the move. Very solid start to the MRO. So hopefully that trend continues. The SPY still hanging out, chopping around a little bit. Let's check the swing trades one more time here. CRN hanging out. Dollar Tree almost tagged to break even. We're gonna exit Dollar Tree tomorrow anyway, so it has earnings on Thursday, so we're gonna be getting out of Dollar Tree tomorrow, regardless of what happens. So no harm there. MDB is looking a little bit higher. We're gonna Schwab. I'll check that out in just a second here. Microsoft, Rumble. Rumble's doing a good job today. Right, look at Toast, man. Toast is looking good. I like where that's at. I say you can even watch Toast for a trade today if you really wanted to. Over high of the day, 22-cent stop. Where is it's right at 20? Guys, you can watch a trade on Toast today. Actually, a day trade on Toast. Keep an eye on that. I'm gonna watch that, and I really want to see some more volume. That's my biggest concern here. It's not even doing 100,000 shares or a million shares, and we're an hour into the day, so that's a bit concerning. But where it's at on that daily chart looks pretty good. Where it's at right now looks pretty solid. Looking at Schwab Corp. All right, let's check it out. Getting in at 53. So getting in right up here. For a day trade isn't too bad. Getting in over high of the day. Let's check out this. Man, you're big on the banking sector, Casey. Be careful whenever you got that many banking stocks open. If you get something like this, some nasty move like that, every single one of those finance stocks that you're trading they'll all stop out. So make sure you're careful trading that many stocks in the same exact sector, especially a sector that's that correlated like the finance sector is. So, anyways, entry at 53, so getting up here, stop at 51.66. So a little bit tight on the stop. You probably could give it a little more, give it like 51 maybe, a little more room. Just get under those pivots right there. But then target is up to 55.50. So right at that pivot there. Yeah. I think it could even go more though, honestly. That's why I said I think you'd be safe giving them a little more room. 53 by 51. I think it could run up to 57 and still get that 2R target. Maybe even 59 to 60. So I mean, if it gets going, I mean, first target's definitely being 56. That's the first area of resistance. But it gets over there, it should have easy room up to $60. But like I said, just be careful trading so many banking stocks. Like I said, they do trade very similarly. Look at Riot. What a dog, man. Just an absolute chop fest. Anybody that traded Riot, I feel sorry for you. That thing just took you on a roller coaster ride. Look at that. Just absolute carnage. Look though, look what we're getting. This is an ending volume, guys. I'm gonna watch this. This is a good learning experience for everybody. You guys know what ending volume is? Does anybody know what ending volume is? If not, you're about to learn. This right here is what we call ending volume. See how we're down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 red bars in a row. On this red bar right here, it's at a whole number, at a little bit of area of support, and it's got this massive volume spike. So this indicates that this is going to be a bottom at least for a couple minutes. Obviously, anything can happen, and it can go below that, but the fact that this is a green bar should not be a surprise to anybody. Should not be a surprise to anybody. That's what we call ending volume. Ending volume. It ends a move. Big ol' after you're down, whenever you're down, up or down, if you're up 5 bars, if you're down 5 bars, whatever, you got to start thinking the opposite. So like this, you're down 6 red bars in a row. You got to start thinking buy. You got to start thinking it's going to bounce. I mean, nothing just keeps going up forever. It keeps going down forever. Uh, so yeah, this little green bar right here should not be a surprise to anybody. It's ending volume. And there's also igniting volume, which is, I don't know if you have a great example of igniting volume, but yeah. Ooh, guys, MRO. Oh, baby, high of the day on MRO. We're over that $24 area. We're at high of the day, so I actually am going to go ahead and raise my stop. I don't know if I want to be that aggressive. Let me check the 1 minute, see if there's any pivots I could place it at. It really is not anything. So I might just go with the this little resistance area right here. Is it 2365, 2360? I'm going to raise my stop up to right there, just under that pivot right there. So 2365. Now we got a 21-cent stop out of, what was it originally, 39. So we're just over a half hour risk open on MRO. And I'm probably going to be raising my stop up to this next pivot at 2375 real soon. As soon as we get a breakout over high of the day. Oh, guys, I forgot about toast. I forgot about the toaster. No, it's not doing much. So, not doing much. Hey, I appreciate it, my man. And yeah, MRO, man, that was the one. Yeah, that's a very clean buy setup. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the buy setup pattern, but this is what you want to see. You want to see a smooth move up, smooth pullback, 50% retracement. You don't want to see a lot of overlap on this bar. Like this is a very basically textbook buy setup. It's in a stage 2 uptrend. So this hourly chart is in a nice stage 2, so it's making higher highs, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Hopefully this higher high just keeps on ripping higher. But yeah, I mean that is a solid buy setup there. Breaking out over resistance right here at 2360. So I mean it's in a position of power. So again, not surprising, man. Not surprising. I mean, we're odds-based traders. We are pattern-based traders. Like when you stack the odds in your favor like this, you do all these things, and you have all these multiple concepts converging. This is what you get. This is what it's all about, guys. Multiple concepts converging. You got the daily chart. You got the hourly chart. They both look good. They both have a void. They're trending the right direction. Then you drill down to the 5 minute, and it's got a strong move. It's got a good pattern. It's like that's what we're looking for when we're trading. That full analysis, those multiple concepts converging. Each time you get one more, each time you get one more factor, it's like okay, it made a strong move up. Okay, that's good. Made a smooth move back right to VWAP, right to support. It's like all right, now it's even better. You just keep adding stuff in, it just increases the odds. Increases the odds. And I got a lot more tips too, man. If you're not already in the Lang Trading Discord, make sure you join that. Link is in the description below. It's free to join. Got some good resources in there, and the resources don't stop, man. They're gonna just keep coming in. They're just gonna keep going. So it's only getting better by the day. So make sure you guys are in there, not missing anything. Make sure you guys are active too, man. Ask questions, talk, chat it up. I'm live in that voice channel every day from 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock Eastern time. So about 2 hours every day I'm live in that voice channel. So you guys want to come in, ask some questions, have a conversation about trading. Maybe you're trying to build your trading plan. You're looking for advice. Maybe you're trying to figure out money management. Whatever it is, whatever question you have, you just want to talk about it. make sure you join that Discord, join that voice channel. Don't be shy. Nothing holding you back. It's a free resource. So if you're not making the most of it, it's your own fault. So take advantage of that while you can. Come on, MRO. Come on, MRO. It's looking good still. I like what we're doing up here. Again, I'm gonna go ahead and raise this stop up to 23.74. A little bit more protection there. So now we have a 12 cents? Yeah, 12 cents open out of 39-cent stop. So we got less than a third R risk on MRO open. So we're risking less than 1/3 R. What is crude oil up to? Crude oil moving on up? Yep, trying. It's right under resistance. I mean, if crude oil gets over that 73.80 area, should be good. This thing's putting in a little bit of a buy setup as well. Not as clean of a buy setup because it has some overlap. You see how on MRO you didn't have that overlap. You just kind of move lower. Each bar moved lower, lower. On the CL, the crude oil, just a little bit sloppy. You get some doji bars in here. You get doji bar there, so a little more overlap. Still not a bad buy setup, but it's not as clean. Hey, thanks for the follow, my man. Like as always, if you guys have questions, make sure you ask them. Make sure you ask them. SPY is looking like it's trying to go higher. You know, that nasty little shakeout bar at 10.15, but otherwise, it's trying to get over there. Trying to get over the 418 spot. There's Exxon looking higher as well, so that's good for the MRO. If you're not already in this oil stock, Exxon's not a bad one to join. It's not the world's worst trade. 65-cent stop loss. You don't need a whole lot out of it. It's still got plenty of range. Average day is 250. Today it's only done $1.44, so it still has some range in it. Breaking out over resistance. I'm not going to trade it just because it's basically like risking 2R on one trade. I mean, if MRO ends up rolling over and not working, Exxon is most likely going to do the same thing. So I'm not going to try and trade the entire oil sector at one time. So there you go, getting a little more push out of the MRO. I'm really thinking about putting my stop at 23.80 here soon. We just get one more big green bar higher, I might be putting a stop at 23.80. You basically break even at that point. So I'll be off here in just a few minutes, guys. It's 10 or 11, 10:40 right now. So I'll give you guys a few more minutes. If you have any last minute questions, comments, concerns, make sure you throw them out there. But like I said, I will be joining that Discord channel as soon as I get off of here. So if you guys want to chat it up, make sure you join that. Really a choppy day, guys. Really, really a choppy day. Look at this SPY. Look at the 15-minute SPY. We get a little move up, then we get some topping tails, then we get a massive bottoming tail, then we get a doji bar. We're right underneath resistance, right above support. Like, this is a choppy zone, guys. Very choppy zone. AT looking at CMA. Let's see. Long 41.50. Actually getting in right up here. Stop 38.24. All right. So yeah, stops right underneath that pivot. I do like that. I mean, this is another one of those finance stocks, though, man. Like I said earlier, you're betting a lot of money on the finance sector going higher. If this thing ends up putting some red bars, the banking sector, then you're going to be in for it. Target I don't know. Do you take all these trades that you mentioned though, or are you just getting ideas? Your target's in the right spot, just under 48. I do like that. Might have a little bit of a hiccup at 44, but yeah, I don't know if you take every single one of the trades you mentioned, but if you are, there's that. You're trading a lot of banking stocks, and like I said, the banking sector ends up rolling over, having a red move like it did back in March, you might be hurting. So be careful with a few of these. All right, guys. So that's gonna do it for me. Just the one trade on MRO. We have a third of an R risk open, so really not a whole lot on the table. Best worst case scenario, we lose a third of an R. Best case, we are up 1 R today. So pretty solid day, especially considering how choppy this market has been. Just ridiculously choppy. So did a good job of navigating that, staying out of trouble. Thank you everybody for tuning in, asking some great questions. As I mentioned earlier, if you're not already in that Lang Trading Discord group, make sure you join that. It's free to join. I will be in that live voice channel right after this, so come on in, say what's up, and then I will see you guys back here tomorrow morning, 9:20 Eastern time to about right now is when this stream is going down. So make sure you guys check it out. Come say what's up, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a fantastic day, everybody.